This episode's brought to you by Omaze. Go to omaze.com/gameranx to find out more. Hey folks, today is Friday, August 7th, 2020. As usual, my name is Jake. Let's talk about the video game news that has been going on this week. There is a lot to get caught up on, and a lot of it is just pure games. Not console stuff, but just games themselves. The first thing is a tease, finally from Rocksteady about their next game. And it is, yes, what the rumors suggested, Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Yeah, it's as crazy as it sounds. All we got was this teaser image of Superman with a target on him and a cool Suicide Squad logo. This is Rocksteady, and we know that this is being revealed at the DC Fandom event thing in maybe 2 weeks or so. And I think this is incredibly exciting. If all of you know is the Suicide Squad movie and you dismiss this, please do not, because there's so much potential here for some really, really cool stuff. Also, I do want to point out that I don't know a lot, inside scoops or anything, but there's a lot of misinformation flying around out there. I've seen screenshots, I've seen claims of what the game is, who's in the game, what the story is. A lot of what I've seen is not what I've heard at all. That's a long-winded way of just saying, don't believe every rumor you immediately hear on the internet. Take it with a grain of salt. What do I always say? Anyway, I do think this is really exciting, and I can't wait to see what comes of this, and I also think this is really funny that we're getting a glimpse of this before the WB Montreal game that was teased a while back. That is a different project. I guess Rocksteady had their shit together more. I don't know, but I'm really curious to see what you guys think of this so far. Like I said, not a ton of information yet, but we're probably going to have some soon. I do think what can come of this can be really cool. For story reasons, for character reasons, for gameplay reasons, just, yeah. Now, in other news, it looks like 2K is slightly changing their tune on video game prices rising. As you know, we talked about a couple weeks back, the next generation versions of the NBA 2K games, they are going to cost apparently $70 US. That is $10 more than the average price, and everybody, me included, freaked out saying, is this going to be the start of a growing trend? Well, the parent company Take-Two Interactive has kind of walked it back a little bit, saying this, and I quote on an earnings call. The head dude, CEO Strauss Zelnick, said, "We're definitely announcing pricing on a title-by-title basis. I would just observe there hasn't been a frontline price increase for a very long time, although costs have increased significantly." Okay, yes, get it. Corporate explainer, man. But this is very interesting that they aren't committing to saying, yes, all of our next-gen prices are going to be $70 going forward. It still sounds like they very much want to do that, but they're not committing to it yet, which still says to me that they're just testing the waters on this and seeing how much people freak out and if people are going to pay up for this. Hopefully this isn't going to be like the new next-gen standard. Maybe they got a little spooked after all the internet discourse. I don't know, but we're just going to have to wait and see. Now, next up, let's talk about the state of play that Sony had. They smartly kind of set expectations a little bit, at least for me, paying attention earlier. They said, hey, this is going to be PS4 games and PSVR stuff and a little bit of PS5, nothing crazy. And what we got, I thought, was just some interesting looks at some games. Interestingly enough, Hitman 3, which we know is a game coming, it is confirmed to have a PSVR mode where you could actually just play Hitman in VR. That's crazy. They're keeping it pretty tight-lipped. I don't know for sure yet if this is going to be on all VR. I really hope it is, but apparently you're going to be able to, integrate the previous two Hitman games since it all works as like a platform, and some of those are going to work in VR as well. I just have been playing Hitman since literally the first game, and I think this is just a really cool way to experience it. I would love to see how this goes and how challenging it can probably make the game. Soapbox over. I'm just a big Hitman fan. I'm also a big fan of Crash Bandicoot, and we got a good long deep dive at the new Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time game, and I was skeptical and cautiously optimistic, but after seeing this, I'm excited. This looks like a fun, competent platformer. I just hope Activision doesn't mess it up or anything. Also, we got a pretty good long look at Pathless, more of an indie game, but the way you traverse the environment, to me, with the bow and arrow and the boosts and stuff, looks incredibly fun and satisfying, and I'm weirdly excited for this one. We also got a good look at Spelunky 2, delighting many people. And we know that it is dropping in September. I don't know if you guys pay attention to the chat during these streams, but when Spelunky was up, the amount of people that were saying this is a trash kids game. Can you imagine going on a chat, looking at a game like Spelunky and saying, this is a game for kids. That's just me. I digress. We also got to look at Aeon Must Die, which this trailer, the way it's edited, the way the gameplay looks, the brawler-style gameplay, it looks absolutely incredible. I'm really into this, but apparently there are some issues going on. This story is still developing with Focus Home Interactive only just commenting on it, but apparently there's some internal issue where some of the original creators of the game got boxed out and don't have access to the IP anymore. So I'm still, with that. We're going to have to wait and see how that develops. Also, there's a bunch more games that they did reveal. I don't have time to cover every single one. This will all be linked in the description below, the whole state of play and all of the other news stories I talk about this week. Next up, this episode is brought to you by Omaze. They've been working on some great stuff in the gaming world, most recently working with Gamers Outreach. Donate $10 and you're entered for the chance to win $20,000 to put towards your dream gaming setup. Like the ultimate setup. Think about it. You can have anything. You can have insane monitors. You can have cool chairs, a crazy sound system, anything you can think of. And of course, with supporting Gamers Outreach, it goes to a great cause. Gamers Outreach provides recreation to children in hospitals through the power of video games and the gaming community. Gamers Outreach has seen a surge in requests from hospitals for these medical-grade gaming setup kiosks nicknamed go-karts. These go-karts allow kids to get their hands on video games while they're in the hospital. We've talked about stuff like this in the past, how important it is. But these go-karts cost $3,500 just to make and get in the hands of these children, so Gamers Outreach needs your help. So to potentially win a $20,000 gaming setup of your dreams and support Gamers Outreach, go to omaze.com/gameranx to find out more. And thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Thanks for that. Now, bouncing back, we were talking about Sony. We also need to acknowledge the news from way earlier in the week, the fact that there is going to be an additional character added to the Avengers game. It is Spider-Man, but he is going to be exclusive to people who buy the game on PlayStation. That's a bummer. Obviously, you can get why they did it. Sony and Disney have a relationship there. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this at all. Because it's Spider-Man, I just doesn't leave the best feeling. But at the very least, it is a new interpretation of Spider-Man that Square Enix is going with. And they are basing it kind of off of the Ditko Romita costume. I'm really excited to see what at the very least comes of that. But that's the state of things right now with the Avengers game. There is a beta. I'm curious to hear what you guys think if any of you are playing it. I didn't pre-order the game or anything like that. I'm just going to wait. But yeah, now let's dive a little deeper. Tomb of Ash, part of the really great old school Tomb Raider community, actually acquired an early build of Tomb Raider Anniversary. Now they want to release it, but apparently they can't. Obviously, there's a lot of lawyer stuff going on with the companies protecting Tomb Raider, but from what we can see, there are some really cool assets here. There's some really cool stuff going on. They have a petition. People want access to this older stuff. People who love Tomb Raider love diving deep into this type of thing in terms of levels, character models, all of that. So I kind of wanted to call attention to it. Thank you guys who put that on my radar. But that will be linked all in the description below, as well as some other trailers and stuff. First, we have this video that kind of goes deep and explains the making of Flight Simulator in terms of the maps and how they worked all that data out. It is pretty incredible. We've talked about this before, but it's definitely worth a watch for this explainer. Also, it's worth just pointing out Horizon Zero Dawn is on PC today. We're going to do a quick dive into that and put out a quick before you buy video for your PC fans. That's another PlayStation game that's now on PC. It's pretty crazy. What a time to be alive. Also, Pikmin 3 is coming to Switch this fall. It's going to be a full $60, and they're also ripping it off of the Wii U digital store. So yeah, sorry if you're still playing Wii U, but yeah, that's what Nintendo's doing right now. Also, if we're talking about things that are coming out today, also that Fast and the Furious Crossroads game came out today. It got delayed and now it's out quietly. I'm very curious to see what comes of this, if this game is good. I personally kind of love the series. It's a good guilty pleasure, so I might try this. Also, we have to highlight this. You may have seen this making the rounds on social media. It's the user HuluP, who has done amazing things like this before, has recreated the Halo Infinite trailer and gameplay reveal thing as a Nintendo 64 game. And it's absolutely incredible, from obviously the graphical look to just the sound of the music, the quality of the music, the way they do the voices. And also the YouTube video is actually really worth watching because the ending is hilarious. I love when people do stuff like this, and I think we should show some love. Also, the YouTube video doesn't have a lot of views, so this is my way of, like, you know how like people raid channels on Twitch? Could we do like a YouTube raid? Go look at this video, it's awesome. Also, another thing we've talked about in the past, it seems like we may finally be getting that reveal of the next Call of Duty game, which I still honestly think they should just relax, take a year off, just focus on Warzone, because it is pretty cool, and they are still adding stuff to Warzone. They did just this week. But some Call of Duty partners and influencers and stuff did get a mysterious crate this week that they can't open until next Monday, August 10th. So that very much could be when we get the reveal of this next Call of Duty game that has been rumored to be a Black Ops Cold War type of specific thing, Call of Duty Cold War. So yeah, that's the speculation right now. Most people are assuming it's not a Warzone related thing. It's actually related to the 2020 Call of Duty reveal. But like I said, August 10th, we'll know more. But that's where we're at. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think. Are you ready for another Call of Duty? Or have you not played any of them? Totally all different types of people watch this video. So very curious to hear what you think. Now, let's just talk about everything in the comments. We gotta go. Bye-bye. So let me know what you're thinking about the State of Play reveal. Let me know what you're thinking about how we've gotten good glimpses now of both PlayStation and Xbox games for the next gen. What are you thinking? Also, would you play Hitman in VR? Not only that, if you love the series like me, if you could play any Hitman mission in VR, what would it be? For me, it would probably be something from the original Hitman 2, Silent Assassins. I don't know what mission though, but yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. Let's talk about all the stuff going on this week down in the comments. The Sony exclusivity Spider-Man BS, the price of games, the Rocksteady game, of course. Let's talk about all this down there. I'll be down there as much as possible. We'll be down there. It gets crazy though, so like I always say, if you want to yell at me directly, find me on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at Jake Baldino. And again, once again, before we go, big shout out to our sponsor, Omaze. Go to omaze.com/gameranx to find out more. It's down there. Thank you guys for coming around every Friday and watching. You know, we always do really genuinely appreciate it. It's fun, especially this week, just to talk about good old-fashioned video games. But if you enjoyed this video and got informed, clicking the like button is the best way you can help us out here. And if you're new, maybe consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Pizza's on me.